Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, we're going to do a garden tour. It is late April, beginning of May, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, Zone 8. So all of my David Austin roses are in bloom and absolutely gorgeous, along with this clematis that's behind me. This is Happy Jack, and it is definitely happy and brings a gorgeous smile on my face every time I look at this Happy Jack clematis. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope it gives you some inspiration, and I hope you enjoy all these gorgeous blooms just as much as I do. So I'm going to start my garden tour here on the skinny side yard. I got me a brand new arbor, and look how pretty my Sasha girl is. She's not used to this little gate being right here. Say hi, Sasha. Say hi, mamas. Well, my mom sent me some money for my birthday, and I had to have a little help from my husband, and I asked him if he'd help me to go get this yesterday, and he put it up for me, and I think it's gorgeous. So this is one of the containers that I planted up with super bells, the new pink lemonade super bells, and the gumfrena. And then we're going to enter into the side garden here. And this is what we're looking at as we enter under the arbor. So it's early morning, so the sun is still trying to come up. I still have some shade on this side of my hydrangea garden. These emerald green arborvitaes are looking really good. This is going on their 4th year, and of course you know that the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and then the 3rd year they leap, and they sure have done that. So I wanted to come out this morning while the sun's just trying to peek over these trees. To me, it's just so serene and gorgeous. These right here are the little lime hydrangeas. They are a panicle form, and they do really well in the sun. So I am Zone 8, Charlotte, North Carolina. It is hot and humid here, guys. So these things really do hold up. I do have drip to them, and I feel like that has helped them. But once they're established, they do really well. And as long as you keep them watered probably once a week, if there is no rain, then they'll be happy. I have some unique stone. There's my little goose. I have a peony right there that needs to be moved. I think it's probably too deep in the ground and not enough sun. I have lemon coral sedum as my ground cover, and I have the hardy geraniums as part of my ground cover as well. So my goal is to see no mulch is what I would like to do. So let's step back and look how pretty this whole garden is. This garden is about 70 feet long, and I'm going to say about 6 to 7 feet wide. And I did pack the plants in there, obviously. These are my jazzberries that I had in the very front, and they came back from last year. So that is a Super Tunia Vista jazzberry from Proven Winners. They require no deadheading. I don't have any flowers on these hydrangeas yet, but oh, they're so pretty. So if you're in an area where you're a cooler zone 4 or 5, you might be to where you're just starting to like wanting to prune your hydrangeas. You want to prune them right as they're starting to leaf out. Let's see if I can show you one of these flowers. Are just trying to still droop here early in the morning. But look at that real pretty hardy geranium. Her name is Roseanne. And I love lemon coral sedum. I just love lemon coral sedum. Look how pretty this plant is. Though it's still small, as you can see my hand right here. But look at the detail when you see it really close up. It is so pretty. It's considered an annual when I bought these, but they will grow, come back each year. I did lose some of mine in the Arctic blast that we had this past winter. This is one that I did not lose, and you can see that it has these teeny tiny yellow flowers on them. The bees love them. April's a great time to put down mulch as well. If you've not put down a fresh coat of mulch, it's just so satisfying. It makes everything look automatically great in the garden. This is Miss Grace from Unique Stone. I have some salvia. I have 2 different salvias in here. I really like this form of salvia better with the really small leaves. And then I have a little gem magnolia that has really huge white flowers. And I probably have about maybe 20 or so limelight hydrangeas. So when they leaf out and start to bloom, they look really pretty. I do have to spray them some to keep the deer off them. The deer do like them. And then come over here on the very end, I have a pentacetum that I really need to move. I think this one requires more sun. And then this Daisy May is about ready to bloom out. Look at that. I have one little one about ready to come out and bloom. Now for this one, for me, will only get 1 flush. Every time I cut her back, she just does not give me any more flowers. But I think the new improved ones that have came out since then will. I want to get my hands on a banana cream. And these are the peonies that already have bloomed. I do have one more. I got a few pictures before it got covered with rain, and I'll share that picture with you. And then I have a limelight standard hydrangea. I have 3 of these, 1 here and 2 on the side of the house. And if you have not bought sedum, you need to buy sedum. I planted these last year and they weren't so pretty when I planted them. Excuse me, they were pretty, but when they come up fresh from the ground, oh my goodness, they are gorgeous. And this one is Rockin' Round Pride and Joy sedum. I have pink flowers when it does flower. And I've got 3 of these and they're equally doing really good. And then this butterfly bush really is super happy here. And this has the big buds. I really do love this butterfly bush, and I bought that at Home Depot and didn't think it was anything special, and it's been one of my favorites so far. So common space back here with all the rocks. This is a Nellie Stevens that I pruned up to be like a little lollipop. I've got 4 of these in my garden. Everything pretty much has symmetry because I'm OCD about it, kinda. This is a Yoshio cherry tree. And then another video soon, I need to plant this box up. All these plants right here are just from seed from last year. I know some of them are zinnias. I'm not really sure what that big one is. It may be a zinnia. And I have some on the ground that I need to, from seed from last year, and I need to probably put in that box. And I have more seeds that I need to put in there too. I have some tomato plants this year that I need to plant. And then this is my rose garden. And this right here is my rose garden. And this right here is the rose garden. So I'm looking at the back of my property up. So I do have a slight hill, and I've used this hill to my advantage in this area. So as you can see, I have 4 quadrants. One here, one there, and then one over there by that other side of that chair, and then another one on the other side of that chair. And you can see the steps coming down into this little paver patio. I have a fire pit there so we can enjoy in the fall and early spring. So you can see that I am really using this hill right here to my advantage. My roses are looking really good right now. My roses are looking really good right now. This is Eustacia Ave. She has very many petals, very, very pretty. We've had a lot of rain here in Charlotte, North Carolina, so they've had a pounding of rain. These are some of the alliums that are out of bloom. If you've not ever planted alliums, these are millennium alliums. You have to plant them in the fall. They come as a bulb and you plant them like you would a tulip. And they just don't come back for me, but I'm still willing to plant them. I've got some on the other side that are so, so pretty. I'll show you. I have some lavender that are in pots, and I aged this pot to make it look a little older. I love that look of the patina look. And they're about ready to bud out too. Let's move around here. This is a crepe myrtle tree. This is a crepe myrtle tree. It has lilac purple blooms. It's called muskogee. I have 3 of these. One here, one right there, and then another up on the side of the porch right there. All right, so this is the very front of the rose garden. This is the first quadrant that I was telling you about. This rose right here is Gabrielle Oak. So I have all pinks, hot pinks to a lighter pink in this rose garden. I thought it would be beautiful to plant all 4 the same color, but I like a little bit of variety, so I wanted to experience 4 different types of roses. These boxwoods are Sprinter boxwoods from Proven Winners. They're a new variety and they are awesome. I love that they have a real light texture to them. They're not really, really woody. You can keep these trimmed anywhere from 2 feet to 4 feet. And then I have some more hardware here. This is not unique stone, but it looks like it. It's really pretty. I got new cushions on my chairs. And this is the area looking down the steps where before I gave you a view of from below. And then this quadrant over here, this is Boscobel roses, and there's one of those alliums. And then Boscobel has not bloomed out as much, but I do have some real pretty roses. These roses look, I think every rose looks different on this shrub of the Boscobel. I have different colors constantly. Let's see. Some like coral, some like pink. And then boxwoods all the way around. All my boxwoods have done really well, by the way. This is another Boscobel. Look at all the petals. Look how many petals make up this rose. This is an English rose. It's David Austin, and you could buy these online. And these are the most gorgeous alliums right here. Maybe they get a lot more sun, not sure, but these 3 alliums, one of my neighbors says they look Dr. Seuss-ish, like magical, and I love that term. Look Look how pretty this is. The bees love these alliums. Just look, there's just so many teeny tiny flowers on there. And this is bigger than my hand. I am in love. I just had a garden tour with the Palisades Women's Club, and every one of them asked me what this flower was. They were like in love with it. This quadrant right here is Alexandra of Kent, and she has the biggest blooms of all. Another hot pink, dark pink color. This is another allium out of bloom. Let's see if we could find one. I really had to fight the deer off on this one because we're in the common space and they like all this new growth that will come out into a bud. Of course, if they eat that new growth, then like it's completely gone. She has so many buds, but it's out. All right, so there's one of the blooms kind of tucked in there. Look how pretty. Lots of petals again. And then this one right here, to show you the size of my hand. It's a really nice size rose. And I do pick some of these to bring inside. I don't know if you saw my little birthday short where I made myself a rose bouquet. What's she doing, pretty girls? What's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? And then these are Oakland hollies. I have 3 that kind of surround my fire pit area there. 1, 2, and 3. Planted those as a pyramid. And then this is another Yoshio cherry tree. My bird feeder station. I need to get some more bird feed. My birds are quite happy. And then this is 2 more of the Nellie Stevens hollies that I did as a lollipop. You can see some of my daffodils. It is really, really hard because you got to let this foliage die back for daffodils to have enough energy to come back into for next year. I cut them down a little bit, but I'm hoping that I still left enough green for them to die back and be able to have the energy to rebloom next year. And I'll give them some bone meal or some bulb tone also. I have some dahlias. Dahlias really benefit from being pinched back. I don't know if you know that. You'll get more flowers from them. So I haven't really pinched any of these back yet, but this is a good example. So this right here, you can see that. If you pinch this whole thing back, you'll get more branching on your dahlia. And if you wanted to, you can take some root stimulator, like cut this and give it a more even cut. And then you could plant this into a small container and get it to root and grow a whole brand new dahlia. Isn't that cool? I haven't really been really good about propagating stuff, but I need to. The Nepeta is gorgeous right now. They're in full bloom. This is Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. And I have 3 different varieties. This is Cat's. This one is Cat's Meow. It's just a little bit bigger than Cat's Pajamas. I'd say the color is maybe just a tad lighter. This is a Nepeta. It is a perennial. And then look how pretty this is. So this is one of my favorite combinations that I have in my garden. I have a 3-way trellis that I bought from Gardener's Supply. And then from Proven Winners, I have Happy Jack Clematis, however you'd like to say it. And look, oh, isn't that so pretty, guys? Like, how can you get any happier than this? So I'd say Happy Jack is pretty daggone happy. And then I had some daylilies here at the bottom that are yellow, and more catnip tucked in there. And then this is one of probably the prettiest rose, but doesn't continue to bloom throughout the whole entire summer. And this is Shropshire Lad. I love the peachy apricot color on this one. This one's considered climbing. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. I'm just in love. Of course, clematis is in bloom right now in my zone, Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8. And then I did prune this back last year after it completely almost died back, and I got another great flush. So this rose right here, and this one, the deer got it. It rained one night, and before I could spray, they had already been eating it. I just sprayed this one with fungus. It's losing its leaves and has some black spot on it. So if you ever see this, give it some copper fungicide. I don't know why this one's not happy. Isn't it really weird how you got one rose here, one there, and the one in the middle is not doing good? I don't understand. This one is Olivia. She has probably the most lightest pink blooms of all. Look at that phlox over there. I do love tall phlox. That's opening act. And I have a lot of Rose of Sharon's over there too. So these are the hanging baskets that I shared one video on. And thank you guys, this is the best video that I've had so far. All types of different purples in there. I'm having to fight my shadow here. The Wadulas are just about out of bloom. I'm gonna prune this one back after it buds out. These are my hummingbird planters. That Vermillionaire will bring in the hummingbirds, and so will this big vibrant color right there. I think I'm gonna love this yellow and combination hot pink there. You can go back and watch my videos where I talked about all those plants right there. I'd be here all day. I've got some bubble gum that I just planted in between those daffodils that are dying back. And some phlox back there. This is Walker's Low Nepeta. This one hasn't bloomed out, but I'm assuming this right here gets more sun because it really has bloomed out. Really, really pretty. I had a video that I made last year where I compared Nepeta versus lavender. A little bit of salvia. This is the candy corn spirea that I talked about in the Power of 3 of my videos. I have 3 of these planters. They're all the same. And I do have a bloom on my magnolia there. I have an obelisk, mandevilla growing on that. This is a really pretty color. Look at this pink right here with it. This pink and purple. and yellow. Some foxglove. This is the first time I've had foxglove in the garden. They are poisonous to dogs, but my Sasha girls never even tried to take a bite of this one. There's the purple bloom and the white bloom. It has like little specks of purple in there. This bubble gum came back from last year. And this is my back porch. I did the same planter last year, and I'll go over all of these in a video. But these are the aqua pots that are self-watering, and I'll talk about that in the video. I do have one that I planted up in the very front, and you can refer back to that video as well about the aqua pot. But these over easy petunias are really, really pretty. And this diamond snow euphorbia. And then this is brand new grass that's on the market called Queens. If you ever heard of King Tut, this is another version, but it's just supposed to be a little bit more airy. But I really love this plant. The bees like this. They just plant their little butts into there. I got a little clip I'll show you. And then this is the back porch. I just put up some new curtains because they were 3 years old and they were fraying. I'm gonna have a video coming out where I stamped this concrete. And then over here, this little area gets a little bit more shade in the morning time. I think Gara is so pretty. There's the opening phlox. I think Gara is so pretty. And there's the opening act phlox. These have really mounded up and spreaded throughout the years. Still need to talk about these planters. I haven't talked about them yet. I wanted them to fill out a little bit because these impatiens were just so teeny tiny that I really couldn't talk about them. This is my strawberry planter. You can see a little strawberry there. And I have to share with you, if you have amaryllis and you don't know what to do with it after Christmas time, you plant it in your garden and they will bloom for you. So mine are blooming right now. And gosh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blooms off that this year. I've never had 5. How pretty. I got one inside that I need to plant. These are tea olives. I put those up for some privacy. This one's out of bloom, but I will show a picture when it was in bloom. I feel like you always need water in a garden. This is one of them though. It's Thomas Ground. It's supposed to be yellow, but I feel like it's got some yellow, some peach. And then they age out into like a white, more of a lighter bloom. These had a lot of rain on them. You can see how they're like more of a peachy color. This one's starting to drop off its little buds, its petals. Wish you can smell it. It smells good. This is Baptisia. This is the yellow. This screams happiness to me. Happy, happy, happy. And then I have a purple one back there. Baptisia doesn't like to be moved. I moved this one right here because I wanted to see it closer up. And it really wasn't happy the first year, but it's doing really good this year. This one is going to be really pretty. Some Nepeta, some more bubblegum. And this planter right here is really pretty also. I just bought an indoor palm. This one will not winter over for me, so I'll have to discard that, but it was just a cheaper palm. And then I didn't know how these blue flowers would look on this blue pot, but I think it looks really pretty because it's got that white eye. I put some more lemon coral seed on, so that does really well into a pot too, and it will spill over. So I got some more lemon coral seed on in there as well. It does really good in pots and it will spill over. And it looks really pretty. It just contrasts really well with these little blue flowers. And I'll have some of the Penta in there as just more of a pop of color. Look at this combination right here of blue, pink, and yellow. So let me just pan around this backyard. Cottage Garden, Rose Garden, Hydrangea Garden. This is the skinny side yard that goes to the backyard. So again, I have this is the skinny side yard that goes to the backyard. And I have lots of sprinter boxwoods here as well. They do good in sun or shade. I'm really excited about this. This is the button bush. This is the button bush that I have not seen bloomed out yet. And then a whole hedge, of sprinter boxwoods. I have some pretty artwork there on that shepherd's hook because the hanging baskets would not hang on them. They were too heavy. This is more sedum. Different kind of sedum. Coneflowers. These are all perennials that will come back. And then I have 4 flats of annuals in here. So, blow my mind, Uvulus, it's not in bloom yet. Begonias, I have 2 different types of begonias. And then this is the start of my shade garden right here because this does get morning sun eventually and then afternoon shade. So this is the shadiest part of my garden, and that's because of the side of the house that it's on. So this is the east facing house. This is the Jacob's ladder. That's the pulmonaria that I did a video on. It's kind of out of bloom right now. There's the heuchera that I have a video coming out about. Coral bells, Jacob's ladder, hellebores. Still have some pansies that are hanging on right here. These, I'm surprised, are still blooming, but those are hellebores. More Jacob's ladder. So I bought 3 of each plants in here, and then I'm gonna just try to eventually fill this area up with perennials. This is a camellia. It's out of bloom. And then another whole sweep of the begonias and XL, blow my mind, Uvulus. Maybe they like the heat and they're just not doing well just yet, but they will. And then this is Moon Punch. I have a real pretty unique stone container there. So I have blue and red on the side garden here this year. And then these are the plants that I need to plant. Look at all these tags that I have in here. Tons and tons of tags. Some tomato plant, squash, cucumber, basil. And then this is an exciting video that I'm about ready to do. Columbine given to me by a friend. Tall phlox that I'm gonna plant up. So now we're in the very front of the house. This is where I have that big sweep of petunias. So follow me in my videos and watch all these grow. This is the cat's pajamas. Really, really pretty. I need to prune this more into a spiral form here. That's a juniper. And then on the side here, my just recent video of the caladiums. I think this is one of my most beautiful planters that I planted up. Front porch. So I've already done a video and talked about these plants right here, but the Gomphrena, Royal Velvet, Persimmon, and the Mini Vista Yellow. The Mini Vista Yellow and the Persimmon is new this year. And then I have some Super Bells in containers, not in the ground. Super Bells, Calibrachoa does not like, and I always have a hard time saying that, Calibrachoa. So I have 4 different plants in this front bed sweep this year. I have a flat of each. Flat of the yellow, flat of the purple, the persimmon, and a whole flat of the Gomphrena. This. It's gonna be really pretty when it fills out. And I have that Japanese maple, more boxwoods, sprinter boxwoods that are hedges, and this one is just a green mountain that's a spiral. My David Austin Rose, Lady by the Lake, is looking very beautiful right now. Very, very happy and vigorous, as you can see. And then this hardy hibiscus is starting to like majorly flourish out. They're a bog plant, so they like a lot of water. It gets a lot of water in this very front flower bed. And then this was new on the market, the mulberry. That is so pretty. I need to get my hands on that. Jenny, do you have more? And then just a holly that we left in the ground from where the builders put in. And then over here on the side garden, Can't believe that I've planted so many things in this. I'll show a picture of when we just got started. Not even a couple months ago. It's hard to believe. I'm going to do a video on this drip, so that's why you can still see this drip over here. But I carried some of those petunias over here on the corner. Just have a little bit of a little topiary thing here. Cone flowers that I just planted. I have lots of lantana. Butterflies love lantana. If you want to attract butterflies, plant you some lantana. I have 2 different varieties in here. This is going to be more like an allium, serendipity. That's that Amsonia that I did a video on. Sweet Spire that I have a video coming out about. And look at this rose right here as well. This is Floss on the Mill. Let's get closer up and show you this beautiful flower. Just gorgeous. Lots of tiny petals. This one's a lot smaller rose. Lots of blooms. I bought this trellis. There's 3 of these trellises right here that are tied up together. And I'll do more of a detailed video on this side garden because I got lots of new plants. This is lantana that I planted. Look how pretty that is. Bubblegum all the way down. Dianthesis. Some mountain hydrangeas. Azaleas. Butterfly bushes. Hardy hibiscus. A drift of butterfly bush, the punkster blue. Yellow lantana. I had this lantana on the side garden last year. I'll try to throw a picture of that, how pretty it was when it was like massive. And I mean massive, like 3 feet tall. These bubblegum are like the best performance Super Petunia Vista ever on the market. The Jazzberry did really well though, and so does the white. So if you're trying to fill in a big area like we are on this hill, those are really good for that. And then I have something with corms, C-O-R-M-S. Thank you for pointing that out to me. That it's growing right there. Another hydrangea standard form there. And then down here on the end is where I planted my David Austin roses that came in a bare root. This one's on the struggle bus a little bit, but alive. And these 2 are doing really good. I need to give it some lime tone. It's got some chlorosis. When you see this veining like this right here, and it's more yellow and not deep green, that's chlorosis. So I need to give it some lime tone. I have some, I just need to put it on there. And then I got some Russian sage that's different, and I'll talk about that in my videos coming up. Some potato vine that's going to grow all the way up this obelisk right here. And that is a Daphne up there. Blooms in the winter. And then this is the side cottage garden that I showed you. Another hardy hibiscus. It's a different color than the front. I have 3 different varieties of hardy hibiscus. Some bee balm that's growing up, some more coneflower, and that's the other side of the tea olives. Lots of daylilies down there and junipers. We put in brand new retractable reel hose. Love that. Everybody needs one of those. And this is the new side garden because we have a lot of shade between this house and this one, but it gets afternoon sun. So I think almost all these plants are going to be pretty happy with that afternoon sun. And I have it on drip. As you can see the drip running through there. So I hope you enjoyed this garden tour. I hope it brought you some inspiration. And remember that plants bring well-being. One plant brings a little well-being, 6 plants brings 60% well-being, and 10 plants maximizes your well-being, which I'm maxed out here. Pretty sure I'm maxed out. I'll see you in the next video, friends. Bye.